What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fourth and Wrong podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Marshall, along with Colin, Dallas, and Donnie. NFL free agency and all the mayhem that is the NFL New Year has started as of last week. And there has been so much going on. Our phones have been blowing up. Tweets between Scheffner, Rappaport, everything. You're on Twitter 24/7, basically, at the end of last week, just checking every second to see what new player has went to what new team, what players have been traded. And this has been a pretty good free agency. I wouldn't say there's some crazy names. There's not the biggest names in the world. You've got a couple quarterbacks, which is obviously the big position we all think of, but nothing like over the top. There was some good skill positions as well. But again, I think there was more just a lot of depth in this free agency. There was a lot of people that you could go out and get. But there were some big trades as well, and we'll just kind of go over every new free agent, or at least the big ones. We're not going to cover every single person, or if we do, it'll just be like, hey, this person went to this team. A couple big trades, a couple teams that came out of free agency so far. Obviously, there are still people that are free agents. There are still trades that can happen. And then we got a lot of stuff going into the draft. But we'll go and say like who we think are so far the winners of free agency and who are the losers of free agency, because there have been some active teams and there have been some dead teams that hasn't even sign, trade, nobody. So we'll get into all that. So looking down the list, I'll just, I might as well just start naming off some names and we can kind of talk about it. But I kind of want to start it off with the big one because we can kind of talk about everything that went into it. But Sam Darnold is the newest Seattle Seahawks quarterback, and Geno Smith is a Raider. Along with that, DK was traded to the Steelers, and Tyler Lockett is no longer on the team, and Cooper Kupp was signed by the Seahawks. I said that all in once because it's all part of this Seahawks team. So the new offense for the Seahawks is Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Cooper Kupp. A huge change of pace for the Seahawks team, bringing in
There's some dogs right there.
Who's
stopping this offense?
bringing in Sam Darnold after his year where it kind of everyone, before that year we didn't really think Sam Darnold would ever be a guy, and now
I
it's
picked
like
him to go 1-16 last year, so
yeah, but now now he gets a 3-year, $100 million contract. So is this going to transition? I know we've talked about on here before that we think a lot of us think Kevin O'Connell is just a guy that can make any quarterback look good. So is it that? Is Sam Darnold actually got into a rhythm and he's just, a late bloomer? We don't know, and we won't know until the season starts. And then also losing DK Metcalf and bringing in Cooper Kupp, losing Tyler Lockett. I at first kind of hated it, but I kind of think, Jackson Smith-Njigba actually has performed very well, but being the wide receiver 3 probably isn't the best option for a young guy like that. And then there's a lot of DK drama around DK, so bringing in Cooper Kupp as well, he hasn't played the greatest as the last couple of years, but he's absolutely a solid guy that could be your number 2. So this Seahawks team could flop, or it could shine, or it could just be average. It's hard to tell with all these random pieces they're bringing in, but it's definitely one of the biggest changes to a team, I would say, probably in the offseason, because they changed multiple different positions out there.
Yeah. I know we're talking about the Seahawks right now, but since DK got traded from the Seahawks to the Steelers, got me thinking about that Steelers wide receiver room. You know who they're missing and who they need to bring out of retirement? They need to bring Antonio Brown out of retirement.
No.
Think about how awful personality-wise that Steelers wide receiver room is.
Antonio Brown before he got hit by Vontaze Burfict was fine, but yeah, now Antonio Brown, I don't know. But who's gonna run CT ESPN? He can't.
True.
They can't run both jobs. Bro's got a full-time job with that.
There's no way he has someone do it for him.
No. It's got to be Antonio Brown. If he ain't running that, then whoever's running needs to be put in jail because there's no way.
It's his brainchild. Someone else is sending the tweets for him.
Yeah, because I've seen that man tweet. That man cannot type worth of shit. So and all of a sudden, all these tweets are perfect. Even with more CTE, I doubt it.
with the Sam Darnold trade, that brings up question. So JJ McCarthy, are they going to throw him into the fire? Is he now the new QB1, or is Aaron Rodgers going to go into Minnesota,
God, I hope
complete
so.
complete what
I'm
Brett Favre
surprised he
did?
hasn't.
Obviously,
God,
Aaron
I
Rodgers
hope
spent
so.
one more year in New York than Aaron Rodgers spent one more year in New York than Brett Favre did, but it would be the same cycle of Packers, Jets, Vikings. I don't know. If you want my personal opinion, I think they both fucking suck. Like, I would not want JJ McCarthy or Aaron Rodgers, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know how Kevin O'Connell would mix with Aaron Rodgers. Like, if that's the bet, like, because Aaron Rodgers seems like a guy that really isn't going to want to listen to anybody, but Kevin O'Connell is a really good. I don't know. It's hard to say. But if I were going to bring in anybody, Aaron Rodgers would probably be your best bet. Bring him in on a 1-2 year deal and see what he does. And then if shit goes wrong, just throw in JJ McCarthy and have him be a handoff merchant. Like, I don't. It's hard to say that what could happen.
As of 8 hours ago, Schefter was reporting that the Vikings are his preferred landing spot. Aaron Rodgers.
His preferred.
I mean, yeah, that wide receiver room is amazing for him. Like, why not?
It would be. It would be crazy.
You got Jefferson, Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. Like,
I'd say why not? Because I guess you do have a backup plan if you want to call JJ a starter. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird move to make.
Yeah. I would agree. Donnie, what are your thoughts? What movie did you see?
yeah, I was gonna say an NCG fucking cup.
Uh,
That was quick, Colin. That's the quickest you've ever been on this fucking podcast.
Man,
Novocaine, going about the guy who can't feel pain,
Oh yeah.
which I thought was gonna be fucking stupid, but it actually isn't that bad. Like that was.
it's very
That's pretty-
ironic because Donnie's in a lot of pain right now. Shout out to John Cena.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, the Vikings are just fucking. The Vikings make no fucking sense. Like I think Kevin O'Connell's smart, but because
I
the
think the
thing is,
Vikings could trot me out there at quarterback next year.
I speak for everybody, Colin. You need to have them going 16-1 next year. Just an FYI.
Yeah. Well,
The
then they're going to go
Vikings just-
17-0.
the moves that they're thinking and they've made make no fucking sense because Sam Darnold signed a 3-year, $100 million deal on paper. Effectively, with the guarantees, it's a 1-year, $37 million deal. And then there's like extra bullshit. So, like, the Seahawks are only really committed to him for 1 year. And if you have that much like concern about JJ McCarthy, why not just sign Sam Darnold to a similar deal or franchise tag him instead of bringing in Aaron Rodgers? And then I think logically, like, of course Aaron wants to go there, but if I was the Vikings, I wouldn't want to bring him in. But at the same time, if they have no interest in bringing him in, like the logic would say, why the fuck has this been a story for a month now? Like, why, if you were the Vikings, would you not come out and just shut it down and say JJ's our starter no matter what?
Definitely,
It makes no fucking sense. And Nick Wright brought it up, and I thought it was a good fucking point. If you're this scared about JJ McCarthy, why don't you just call the Chargers and package JJ and a couple of picks for Justin Herbert? Like, if you're this concerned about JJ, instead of doing a stopgap with Aaron Rodgers and fucking just doing whatever you're gonna do, why don't you just?
I know Jim would
commit
be
to a
excited
quarterback?
to have JJ back.
It just
champion.
it truly makes no sense. I think the Vikings are so good everywhere, but like this specific situation, I think they're being stupid as fuck. Like,
I don't think it matters who their quarterback is next year. I think they're still going to be.
I mean, I
solid.
kind of hope it's Aaron. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I hope an
don't
aging
want
Aaron
him to-
Rodgers in his last year in the National Football League.
I would
trots out
love
there for
Aaron Rodgers.
the
I would love
Minnesota
Aaron
Vikings.
Rodgers. I'd love Aaron Rodgers to step his ass back and forth field one more time because Kirby might pick that motherfucker off 25.
First
was
play of the
gonna
game would be
say,
a
do you
Kirby
think he-
interception.
Do you think that's part of his holdup coming back to the NFC North is realizing he'd have to play Kirby Joseph twice a year?
I
again?
pray
Oh,
that
definitely.
becomes a story.
You realize that, yeah, and Aaron Rodgers played in the NFC North for what, 15 years? And Kirby is currently tied for the most picks by a player on Aaron Rodgers with Brian Urlacher. So, and he is tied, and Kirby played 2
All I'm
years
hearing is that,
against
is that
Rodgers.
Kirby
Man.
Joseph is a Hall of Famer.
if I believe
Urlacher
right, I
played
think
10 plus years against Rodgers. Kirby
Yeah,
played
he played.
2.
He had quite.
I
a
think
few
we
years.
play the Steelers this year, and that's the other team he's considering. So we might, fuck, Kirby might get the record anyway. Honestly,
Man,
He's one away, and it's just wild. It really is. He got 2 in the game, the first game against Rodgers that we were all at, and then at the end of the year when we went to Ford Field, he got 2 in that game as well, and then he got 1 the following year. It's like, bro, that's wild.
For the story arc sense of it, I hope he goes to the Vikings. But if I was him and I was running these teams, I would just go to Pittsburgh, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think Pittsburgh's tough because, like, Mike Tomlin's not going to put up with his bullshit like other coaches will, but, like...
And bring back Matt Canada.
I did see that Cam Hayward basically was like, "You're either locked in as a Steeler or you're just gonna move the fuck on. Like, we don't want you."
Yeah,
if you're
I
not
mean,
on
that's
the
what I'm
team."
saying. Like, I don't think it works well for what Aaron is, but, like, if he was to say, okay, I'm done with the shit, and he went there and, like, bought in, like,
Holy
they could be...
shit.
I don't think win a Super Bowl, but I think...
You want to talk
we're a
about
couple of playoff games.
team of insane motherfuckers. Aaron Rodgers, George Pickens, and DK Metcalf on an offense.
Think
Might
about the locker
it's
room.
in the
Toxic
same
offense of
locker
all
room.
time.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Mike Tomlin kept Antonio Brown under wraps for a decade plus. So if Bro can do
He
that,
started to lose him eventually.
How is
though.
Aaron gonna
Yeah.
at the
throw to
very
anybody
end,
when
at the
DK?
very, very end, he lost him. But like,
How's Aaron gonna be able to throw to anybody when DK and George Pickens are running a tag team match 50 yards down the field?
I mean, he didn't lose AB. It was right after he traded him where AB pulled the whole helmet shit.
No,
So like,
because he wanted out.
I mean, yeah, he wanted out, but then like literally like 2 weeks later, he was fucking the helmet drama when he was painting that bitch himself with his fucking Sharpies, trying to make it look like a Raiders helmet. So I'm being like, I think Tomlin can rein
That
people
shit
in
was
about
so
as good as you
wild.
could possibly rein people in.
The brief
I forgot
stint
that was a
of
story
Antonio
in my
Brown
story.
Raiders
as
legend.
a Raider.
Raiders
was-
legend Antonio Brown.
Wasn't he a Raider for like 3 weeks?
He was literally a Raider for I think like a month and a half total. Like it was crazy.
We all
And then as a
thought he was
Buccaneer, when he
next.
took his gear off in the middle of the game and walked off the field.
They ended up winning that game, by the way.
Well, it was against the Jets,
I mean,
so I
yeah, I
hope
was gonna
so.
say they were playing the Jets.
Gotta
Well, they were
respect
down by
it.
like 20 in that game. So.
Gotta
Maybe
respect
has
it.
anybody asked AB? Maybe that's why he took off. He was like, "Fuck, they don't need me this game." He just fucking headed to the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to consider it.
Moving through the other free agents, we can't talk about every single one, or else we'd
No.
be here forever. But I can kind of just skim over the big ones. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase were both signed to insanely big contracts,
Yep.
and that is a lot. At first, it was a franchise tag for T. Higgins, no contract for Jamar Chase, and now they both have huge contracts. Jamar Chase is now the highest paid receiver in the league, and T. Higgins is the second highest paid wide receiver 2 in the league. I want to ask you guys this question. Because I know my answer, but people online I think are fucking idiots. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are getting paid $100 million more than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. People in the comments are like, I'd rather have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a little bit better than Devontae Smith, and Jamar Chase is a little bit better than A.J. Brown. In my head, I'm like, I don't know in what
I think
world,
they're
but-
comparable enough.
yeah.
that
Like A.J. Brown's
I
a
would
dog.
much rather take the cheaper players in this scenario.
Yeah.
Even if I am theoretically sacrificing like a little bit of skill.
Yeah. Plus, of course, T. Higgins is going to be a little bit better than Devontae Smith. They have Saquon Barkley, and they have so much more talent on that team. Devontae Smith doesn't get to see the ball that much, but when he does, he's actually really good. And I've seen a lot of production on Devontae Smith, but I'd rather have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith for $100 million less.
The worst part is the Bengals could have signed T. Higgins for less than both of them if they would have signed him like 2 years ago. But they decided to wait.
Yeah. Classic. Sounds like the Bengals, all right.
We love the Bengals front office, baby.
I wish they played me.
Good luck paying Trey Hendrickson now and trying to get him to a deal. So I think that's a
Look,
death
paying
sentence
anybody.
for his time in
They might not
Cincinnati.
be able to hire a McDonald's employee on defense. How are they going to do anything?
Yeah.
Other free agents, there were a couple, there are some. I mean, we could get back into the Lions, basically. We could talk about the Lions, and then we can go through all the random free agents and then some of the trades that went through. The Lions made only a couple moves in free agency. They did let Carlton Davis go, and he went and signed a 3-year, $60 million deal with the Patriots. And in replacement, we signed cornerback DJ Reed from the Jets. Same age, actually same draft class as Carlton Davis, for $12 million cheaper at $3 million, 3 years, $48 million. I think that's huge. And honestly, I think it's an upgrade. If you watch him play, he is unbelievable. He's one of the best on the ball cornerbacks in football, and he's a really good man-to-man corner as well. I think he'll do well, and I know we're changing up the scheme a lot, especially with Shep in there. So, I think I like the move. I think it was well worth it. I liked Carlton Davis a lot, but apparently he was being a really big diva, and that didn't really wasn't said a lot. But I was reading a report that he was like very, very like a big diva about everything, about his contract, about playing time, and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know what that was all about, but we got Terrion Arnold going into year 2. He had a decent year 1. It started out rough. The penalties killed him, but besides that, he was playing very good football. And then Amik Robertson was a dog at the end of the year, and he looked very good. And so as our corner 3, I'm absolutely okay with having him. We still have Ennis Rakestraw. We still have Emmanuel Mosley, so I think DJ Reed's a good bring. We lost a fee to, re-signed Dan Skipper. We lost Kevin Zeitler, but we do have a Mahogany. He played a couple games last year and looked amazing. I saw the clip from Pride of Detroit right after Zeitler was released. The clip of him realizing Taylor had his block and he went and pancaked the guy that was trying to pass rush Frank Ragnow. Dog. He's an absolute dog. He's going to be awesome. Lions re-signed Tim Patrick, which is a huge dub. Yeah. Tim Patrick's just a guy you love to have in the room. He's a big body receiver, and he's a good veteran to have around J-Mo and Amon-Ra. I think that's a huge signing for us. Trying to think if I missed.
Derek Barnes.
Derek Barnes got a big contract, which is good. He's been playing very, very well. Every single year we see improvement out of Derek Barnes. Sucks what happened last year, but it is what it is. We did not sign Zadarius Smith, but I have a feeling that he will make his way back to this team. I've seen a lot of reports saying that he will come back to Detroit just cheaper than what he was.
Yeah, it might be a Kyle Juszczyk situation where we release him, re-sign him for cheaper.
I think that might happen, which I'd be okay with. Besides that, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that we made. We haven't really done anything else. But yeah, I would say, it wasn't the best free agency. We weren't the best team out there, but I also would say we were active enough to keep what we needed to on the team. Going 15-2, there's not too much places you can upgrade. I would say obviously you need more corners, but realistically, like the corners that were in free agency, it's hard to go out and get another guy. But like, are you also going to sit Terrion? Like, you're not going to sit Terrion. So what are you going to do? Bring in someone else? It's kind of hard in that scenario. Linebacker's the only position I'd maybe say, but obviously they've put the faith in Derek Barnes. And then pass rush. That edge rusher is really the only position we need, but we do have a first-round pick, and we know Brad's amazing in the draft. So I think that we'll even if it's bringing Zadarius Smith back or whatever he wants to do with that first-round pick, I think we'll be in business.
Yep, we did miss out on Joey Bosa to the Bills. So
yeah, Donnie, I know you got some feelings about that. So what's up? What's up with that?
What's up?
I don't think you guys want me to get in on the line.
Yeah, you're right. Moving on.
I'm gonna agree with that.
You've already ranted for like a week in the group chat, so we'll just move it.
The Lions have legit ruined my love for football the last.
Oh my god!
I'm survived the Matt Patricia
I'm
years,
like,
and now
my god!
At first it was just
I thought my dog was a drama queen.
At first it was just fun banter, and then I looked up the last couple of days, and free agency is effectively over, the good shit, and they are
15-2. We barely lost anybody. Cooked. We're cooked.
Barely lost
15-2 and 6 of those wins came
cooked.
with half a defense.
We lost a starting guard that got replaced by a younger rookie. He was better.
He was bad.
Zeitler was just okay. Mahogany was way better in the 2 games that he started.
Zeitler was one of the best guards in the league last year. What do you mean he was okay?
No reason to have a 35-year-old man when you've got a 24-year-old who's a dog right behind him.
But you are a fucking moron for keep bringing up that point. I like Mahogany as well. Graham Glasgow needs replaced. Graham's Glasgow is not fucking playing too hot. Literally last year, he was getting replaced in games by Mahogany because he couldn't fucking cut it. So you should resign Zeitler.
I do agree that moving on from one of them, it should have been Glasgow. But
it should have been Glasgow. You put in Zeitler. You start Mahogany at the right side, or I think Zeitler was right guard. So you start Mahogany on the left side, and then you can fucking draft somebody, you can develop somebody, you can sign somebody, whatever.
We have 8 draft picks. I think Brad.
Yes, but it went from something where it's like, okay, we could sign this dude for 1 year and figure it out later. Now it's like, okay, now we have to draft somebody or do something because it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, we'll draft somebody. We have 8 draft picks. We just got that because we lost Ben or Glenn, I can't remember who, but we got a compensatory 3rd round pick.
Glenn.
Yeah. So having 2 3rd round picks, especially we know how Brad Holmes does in the 3rd round, but I think we'll be fine. We lost a corner and placed him with a better one. We lost a safety that's we lost a safety that's not gonna start. I mean, as much as I love Afitu and what he's done in Detroit, he's not gonna start. He's really just not going to see the field that much. And the only thing that I saw that he read is like, you can say anything you want, but apparently the report was that Brad talked to Afitu. He wants to start. He's not going to. Who are you going to start him over? Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch? So why Brad's not going to bring in the guy if he wants to start and Brad can't start him? You have nowhere what are you can do? Get rid of Kirby? Get rid of Branch? There's no point. So why bring it? Like if V2 is asking for a starting position and you can't give it to him, there's realistically one solution there.
I also think that, like, I know where you're coming from, Donnie, but I also am willing to take a gamble and like think about how well that defense was playing when it was healthy, and the fact that like it fell apart, but it fell apart because everybody was hurt. There were like 3 players at the end of the year that started week 1, still playing.
We didn't even have a feature
my easy argument back to that is, what was like the number one reason the Lions did not end up making the Super Bowl? You can say fucking like, oh, Goff didn't have it, but like on paper and what happened in the game, what wasn't enough?
I would say that those turnovers and 2 of them directly leading to points would probably be the reason that we didn't make.
So you don't think it had nothing to do with the fact that we were starting like 5th string defensive players?
I mean, that certainly didn't help, but I think that there are too many reasons to point to one specifically. And I think the defense.
But to be fair, the one position that we didn't need was safety. Our starting safeties were both fine all year.
So if defensive depth like wasn't a problem, like why are more people calling for Jared's head? Like I don't get.
I mean,
like,
I don't know about you, but I was about to say,
how many teams in NFL history had 24 people on IR? Like that's not even like a depth issue. That was just unlucky. Many people.
Yes,
I was literally reading the other day that what the Lions did was incredible. To stay at 15-2. Like we lost in the division as a 1 seed. We didn't have a team. We didn't have a team. When the injury bug fucking killed us. It all started with Aiden's fucking leg going into oblivion.
Yes, and the point is, the reason that we were so fucked, yes, they were playing hard, but the reason we were so fucked is because our defensive depth is nothing. Like, we have no decent defensive depth. So, in free agency, with all these fucking linebackers and everybody getting signed for cheaper 1-year deals, where we could have bolstered the fucking backups on defense.
We still have backups, though.
Nothing.
We still have backups. Defensive line will break.
Our linebackers are still thin as fucking shit.
If Derek Barnes is brought back, you have Derek Barnes, Alex Anzalone, and
I like Derek Barnes, but he's not that guy. I think they kind of overpaid for him. You
have Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, and Derek Barnes. You can usually only have 2 linebackers on the field at most times.
And it's Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone, so it's not even Derek
Barnes is the only reason we were in the fucking. Well, I shouldn't say the only reason, but he is the reason we were in the NFC Championship.
But and then
shout out Rodrigo.
I like Derek Barnes. That was the best play he's ever made.
Oh yeah, and Rodrigo. We have depth at linebacker.
Yeah,
and then on defensive line, you forget we're getting John Kaminsky back. He was one of the best depth pieces on our team 2 years ago.
McNeil. Like,
As a
Lee
depth
McNeil-
piece?
not
Lee
as a depth
McNeil-
piece, but you know what I mean.
Lee McNeil is not playing at minimum the first half of next year. I feel like people are just like forgetting that. Like, arguably, outside of Aiden, our best defensive player, like, is just probably isn't going to play that much next year. I'm not even like going to bank on him playing much, if at all. So it's just, I just think like, I don't get like, just, I don't get the optimism. I don't get why people are like content or happy or like.
I don't. Okay, I get not seeing
I think the way I look at it,
but I don't think we need to act like the sky is falling and that like
The way
Detroit's
that I'm
Super Bowl window is closed.
the way that I'm looking at it, it would also be one thing if they had re-signed Aiden or extended Aiden by now, because mentally that's my thing. Like, okay, they didn't sign anybody. Like, you got to pay Aiden. Okay, so let's get Aiden's deal done before he gets even more expensive. I haven't heard shit about that contract. I don't know about you guys. I haven't heard a
Okay,
fucking.
just because you haven't heard about it doesn't mean that shit's not in the works.
Okay, yeah, but like, other contracts are getting talked about. This is the type of year where fucking, like, everything and anything is brought up. Like, and you still don't hear any kind of murmur about it. It's just, I don't understand.
I think we've got.
That's kind of a dumb argument.
I think we've
I
got
don't
plenty of depth.
And to
I
be
don't
fair,
understand.
with the
I don't
roster we
understand.
had, with how injured we were, we shouldn't have gotten 15 wins. Realistically,
Oh,
we're
no.
like a 10-win team with all of those
Yeah.
injuries.
Absolutely.
So, like, the fact that we're already saying we're a 6-win team when we just
Right.
got healthy, like,
Right.
now
Or
we're
at least
healthy.
mostly healthy.
we won the division. We beat one of the hottest teams in the Vikings in Week 18 with almost no starters but our safeties. That is insane alone.
You lost another DB and still managed to lock up Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, literally. It's insane. Like how we did what we did. I don't get. I will never get. But I'm literally looking like
I
I'm
that's
looking at the
I
depth
think
chart right
that's
now.
such
There
a
is not a
fucking
position.
I'm
of,
not gonna lie. I think that's so like a fucking. That's such like a. That's such like an old Lions way to look at it. Like, hey, they did really good. Like, who gives a fuck if they won 15 games or they won 17 games?
So
Like,
if we go,
What are we talking about now?
I think there's
we're,
a
we're
difference
just
between-
spitting out our ass right now. What are we
I
doing?
think there's a
We've
difference
never won
between-
15 games in our life. Who cares?
I think there's a difference between, because I see what you're saying a little bit. I think there's a difference between
9 and 8, 15
being
is
like
what's
a
the difference?
6-9 team and being like, oh well, we were close in a couple of those games, but we were really injured. But like we were close in a couple of them. Like we're really close, guys. We're going to be really good. And being 15-2 with a bunch of
just-
injuries.
I just.
So
That
if we go
doesn't
2
just
and
happen.
15 and Jared Goff shatters his ACL, we're just gonna be like, we went 2 and 15 because we suck. Well, it's like, no, Jared Goff did tear his ACL. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's still, yes, it does matter. You have to put those things into
There's
context.
context behind
You
records.
gotta have the context.
I don't think you can have the.
I would understand if it was 1 or 2 players, but I think
don't-
we were losing almost every starter except 2 at one point.
I don't know
That
why you're
is-
so cynical all of a sudden about this team, man. I don't
It's
understand
just-
it. Every year you're like, what the fuck is Brad doing? And every
Every-
year,
every
mid-season, you're like,
single
trust Brad.
year. Every year.
You know who we need to get rid of? Tom fucking Kennedy. That's who's really holding us back. That's why we haven't made a fucking
What do you mean
Super
get
Bowl.
rid of? He's on the practice squad.
We didn't quit signing this man
he
to the
can't
practice
be-
squad.
He can't be associated with the team at all. This is bad luck.
He's sitting nice right there on the practice squad.
Nah. Shout out to him though. I got his jersey.
Game issued.
Can't believe it.
Game issued, not worn, not game
Game
worn. Game issued.
But yeah, moving on from the Lions, go over some of the other free agents. Before I say that, I was actually reading something interesting today. So there has not been a trade so far this year for any involving any first round pick. This is the latest that no trade has been made involving a first round pick since 1993, where just 5 days before the draft, a first round pick was involving a first round pick was traded. So we'll see how long it takes before someone tries to move up, move down, or involves a player in a package. But nothing yet.
I think the Titans got to keep that one pick, honestly.
Oh yeah, but it's got to be like, we're gonna see maybe this Trey Henderson trade. He gets a first rounder involved with that. You never know. Like, so someone's got to be given. Oh, someone's gonna trade a first rounder at some point. It can't just sit like this forever. Other free agents, I lost the list, but there we go. There it is. Um, like I said, Carlton Davis, he went to the Patriots. Uh, Joey Bosa goes to the Bills. We already said. Dre Greenlaw went to
Denver.
Denver. That's right. Denver added a lot of people on. Denver added a lot of people on their defense. Let's see. I don't have really the best of lists because it doesn't actually show me what new team they went to.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams went to
The Rams.
the Rams in Cooper Cup's spot to play with Stafford and Puka, which is actually gonna be that sounds. I mean, I think that'll be pretty nasty.
Yeah.
A crazy trade. The Texans and Commanders made a trade involving a bunch of picks that involved no second or third round pick, but the Texans traded Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders for a handful of picks that really aren't that they don't mean that much. So the Commanders beefing up their team a bunch like that is a huge addition to an O-line. And the Texans also got rid of their other O-lineman. The Texans, I don't know what they're doing, but they're losing everybody. Did Stephon Diggs get traded or signed to a new team yet?
I don't believe so. I haven't heard anything.
I didn't think
I didn't
so.
realize he was a free agent.
Derek Stingley got re-signed on the biggest cornerback deal per year at a 3-year, $90 million contract for Derek Stingley. But yeah, any other? I bet there's a lot more free agents, but
Justin Fields to the Jets.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
that's a huge one. That's for what was it? 2 years,
You have 2 years. I don't have the dollar amount.
$50 million, something like that. $60 million,
2 year 40.
40 million. Okay, couldn't remember. But yeah, that's Aaron
Honestly,
Glenn.
if they build that team around him well,
Depends on the people they give him.
The Ohio State connection. You got
right,
Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields.
that could Loki. I mean, Jets
Might as well bring in
end up
Ryan Day
sneaking-
at this point.
I know we say this every time they get a new quarterback.
honestly.
But I feel like the Jets might, in the next couple of years, sneak back into the playoffs if they manage this rebuild right.
Right, and Colin just cursed it. The Jets will
Yep.
not win a single game for the next 3
Yep.
years.
Probably.
Rest in peace, Jets fans. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
I had the Commanders in the playoffs, and I was right about that one, bitch.
Sorry for your condolences.
Yeah, you also had the Vikings. What was that? 1 win?
One win.
Biggest losers in free agency: the
lot.
Cowboys, the Packers, both just ass in free agency.
They
Just
just haven't done anything, man.
the Cowboys haven't done a fucking thing, and the Packers haven't done a fucking thing, which brings so much joy to my life to know that both those teams are just not doing shit right now.
Like, the biggest thing the Cowboys have done is sign Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. Like, that,
Hell of a running back room.
that
Honestly,
running back
Rico
room is
Dowdle
crazy.
wasn't even that bad.
Nah, I think, where did he go? He went to the Titans or something like that?
I don't remember. But yeah, Cowboys haven't done shit. Eagles have lost a lot of people. CJ Gardner-Johnson got traded to the Texans as well. Speaking
Darius
of
Slay left and went to
Darius
the
Slay to the
Steelers.
Steelers. Milton Williams to the
Still pissed he's not a
Patriots.
Lion.
That Super Bowl team lost a lot of people.
Brandon Graham retired.
Brandon Graham just retired. The Eagles lost a lot of people on defense. Like, I think almost 9 to 10 people. 49ers also lost about 8 to 9 people.
Yeah,
on
talk
their
about a
defense.
Super Bowl window that is closed now.
Yeah.
Officially, that shit is like bolted shut.
They lost Dre Greenlaw. It was amazing on that team, and he's now gone. Yeah, Hufanga was awesome at safety. He's now gone. Also went to Denver. So there was a lot of big L's from some teams in this free agency. Those 3 teams undermining. I ain't gonna say Eagles just because obviously they won the Super Bowl, but 49ers, Packers, Cowboys, they just didn't really do shit. But obviously there's a lot coming up. The draft's coming up, so it could change everything. We could see a huge move by one of those teams in the draft. You could automatically.
Y'all trying to go to Green Bay for the draft?
No,
No.
no, not at all. It's probably fucking cold as shit out there. Actually, the weather's starting to break a little bit, but I still don't want to just be in Green Bay. Even though I'm curious at how they're gonna. Donnie can back me up. The street, like Detroit, like obviously is like a big city. Green Bay is
No,
It's
Green
not a
Bay
big
is
city.
actually
It's
a very small city.
It's a small city in its suburbs. what are they gonna do it in fucking Uncle Joe's backyard? Like, I don't like. What are I don't understand how they're gonna do it. It's just a bunch of houses. Like, there is one bigger street near the stadium that I'm like, okay, they could probably do it there. But like I said, everything that stadium is surrounded by middle class houses. That's all it is. To park, you literally have to park in someone's backyard if you want to park close to the stadium. That's how Green Bay is. But I don't know how they're gonna do that, but I'm interested to see, but I ain't going.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious.
What are you looking at, Colin?
I'm looking at. Oh, they're doing it all around Lambeau.
Okay, that makes sense. There's
Here,
some
I can
bigger
share-
streets.
I can share the rendering real quick.
There's some bigger streets around the stadium. It's just
This
It's
is the
gonna
rendering
suck.
of what it's gonna look like. So like the stage is over here.
wish I could see.
We'll calm down. Wait till it loads, Colin.
Yeah, I wish I
My
could
bad.
see.
My bad. It says it's.
Okay,
going
there we
green.
go. Okay.
Stage is over here. Obviously, big ass Lambeau field right here. But
Thanks for pointing.
Man,
You're
I
right,
would have
though,
missed
they're-
this.
This year is Lambeau Field.
it is just neighborhoods over here. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was when me and Donnie went. It was.
Could you imagine buying a house next to like Ford Field and just walking?
These
Lions
people
game?
sit on their lawns and charge people $60 or 40 usually,
I would
40 to
do it.
$60. Oh, dude, untaxed cash, like
Man.
that's a side business.
Think
buying
about how
that
much they
house.
make during like that run that they had where they were hosting the NFC
Yeah.
Championship for like 3 years in a
Man.
row.
Imagine if they didn't have Jordan Love, they'd still be making money. But unfortunately, he ain't gonna get them at that far anytime soon. Donnie, you were gonna say something, and Colin pulled up that rendering.
Sorry, my bad.
Other than parking, I think Lambeau is going to be perfect for the draft. Like,
I think it'd be
I'm not
pretty
gonna
cool.
lie, Detroit was kind of a pain in the ass. Like when I went, just because it's so fucking like they obviously shut everything down and it made it better. But like, I'm assuming if you live or work in Detroit, like that was probably a shit weekend to try
Yeah.
to commute. But like Green Bay, like they have Titletown right there, and it's like a football field, like for fans and shit. Like when you go, people will be tailgating next to it, and they'll be playing like pickup football games. So honestly, other than parking, because there's not a lot of parking like we talked about, I think they're gonna fucking kill it. Like I love that fucking rendering you put up. Like I think it's gonna be fun.
That's the one thing about
It
Green
does
Bay.
look
that
sweet.
is-
Other than
that's
the
the one
weather,
thing.
the weather and the parking are gonna suck dick.
I was
Other
it's gonna be.
That's
again,
the one thing
again,
about
whether
Green
or not
Bay
the
that
weather's
is
gonna cooperate.
probably like they've got going for them is the way that the things that surround their stadium. It's actually nice. Like it's a nice area, unlike Detroit. Which Detroit's gotten better, but not. It's not great. But all right, I don't really think unless I missed anything big, then roll us into trivia. Colin, you're staying.
Yeah, unless anybody else has anything they want.
Oh,
to
I
talk
do
about.
have one. We didn't talk about the biggest quarterback signing
Oh, this is gonna
of the
be-
last couple of
yeah.
weeks.
Daniel Jones to the Colts.
Well, that too. All-time quarterback competition right there, though. But
It
it's
actually
gonna
is.
be fucking blocked out. Hang on.
Is that Drew Brees?
DEI hire. I already know. DEI hire. Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush signed
Ravens.
with the Ravens. Got his
While we're
high
talking
school
about people-
bobblehead from Lansing
While we're
Catholic
talking
right
about
here.
people that everybody agrees sucks, fucking Najee Harris, running back, obviously.
Oh yeah,
It takes a
the
lot of guts
Chargers.
for you to admit that. So
It
I'm proud
doesn't
of
take
you.
a lot of guts to.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Najee Harris. I think
But-
people who don't
but
think
he
Najee
sucks.
Harris is good is kind of a dipshit, but that's
Oh, damn, he just called us all dipshits.
well, Mike Tomlin didn't think he was good enough, so
Mike Tomlin's gonna enjoy having more than 3 yards of carry every play.
the most inefficient 1,000-yard season you'll ever see.
All right, Dallas, take it away.
All right,
Man, Colin's fiending to go to bed.
he is. He's speed running.
Another North Carolina game's over, and that was a beatdown.
What was the final?
I think it was. Hold on. They took it away. 95-68.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn is right.
I think they approved.
They took that personally.
Ooh, one of these.
All right. In honor of March Madness, last year we did jerseys in a bracket form. This year we're doing helmets. So this is not my personal 16 best helmets. This is like a collective unit.
Why do I think we
Of-
did helmets last year? I
No, we
did
did
jerseys.
uniform. Yeah,
Oh, did
jerseys
we?
and
Okay.
uniforms.
Maybe I was just
So
forgetting.
Motherfuckers were roping it all together, though. We were just talking jerseys, and you guys were talking about how that helmet brings it all together. And it's like, no, we're not talking about the helmet. We're talking about the jersey.
So
Anyway, sorry.
So yes, this is just the helmet. It does not involve the
And
jersey. So it's the Sweet 16. Like I said, this is a collective unit of popular helmets.
Where's the Browns helmet?
Browns helmet didn't make the cut, unfortunately. Any questions?
What are the bottom two?
Well, we'll get, yeah.
Okay.
I can't get rid of that bar down there. I've tried for like an hour. So we'll zoom in here. Gold Bond, all these ads.
I was gonna say it's making it
Christ.
worse. You might as well
Sponsored.
zoom back out.
Yeah, might as
Sponsored.
well.
Well,
Sponsored out here. All right, so for the first bracket here, we have the classic orange Bengals helmet versus the new chrome red Texans helmets.
I really like these Texans helmets, but I gotta go Bengals here.
Any possibility of a? Can we click on the picture? Or no?
I could try and zoom in again, but we're gonna get 20
don't worry
ads.
about it. That the Texans one's the only one to hard to see, like how the Texan looks with just like whatever glares going on the actual picture. But it's fine. I know what it looks like.
Colin said Bengals.
That's not easy, you know. I'll go Bengals.
Bengals 100%.
All right, the Bengals will move
Either.
on. The Chargers white helmet versus the classic Steelers helmet.
I gotta go Chargers here.
I'm gonna go Steelers.
Steelers.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I can
Steelers move
respect
on.
it. I can respect it.
It's classic. Here we got the
Tough matchup.
Patriots, Patriot Pat helmet versus the throwback Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
This is a 1 seed versus a 1 seed right off the bat. What are we
Come
doing?
on, there's no way.
I'm gonna go the Patriots.
I'm going Broncos. I hate those Patriots helmets.
What?
I'm going Broncos.
I actually agree with Colin. This should have been like the finals. Like these are two of my favorites.
Yeah.
But definitely Denver.
What?
Denver moving on.
I like the Patriots, but I mean that the logo really does.
What?
Like I like Denver's logo.
And
The
then
V with the Bronco in the middle is just so good.
Then last we have the Buccaneers creamsicle helmet with the old school logo and the all red Bills helmets.
It's the Buccaneers by a million.
Yeah, it's the Bucks.
All right. We're gonna finish out this side here. So
Gotcha.
AFC North matchup here: the Bengals versus the Steelers.
Give me the Bengals.
The Steelers.
Ooh. I think he said Steelers.
I didn't. Oh, Steelers. Okay.
He cut out like a motherfucker.
Yeah, definitely. Steelers moving on. We got the throwback Denver Broncos and the throwback.
Just out of
Buccaneers.
spite, I'm gonna go Buccaneers with this one.
Out of
Damn.
spite.
It's definitely the Broncos.
I'm not gonna lie, this one's tough.
If you went Broncos for the last one, you gotta go Broncos for this one. Otherwise, we're fucking recounting the Patriots vote.
Recounting, it's 3 people.
Man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
The Bucks move on.
No fucking way.
I fuck with those Bucks.
That sucks.
And then the Steelers versus the
This is a
Buccaneers.
chalked Final Four. Neither of these deserve to be in it. You
Yeah.
put the Steelers on a shitty side of the bracket, and then you the Bucks got snubbed, or the Broncos got snubbed.
I think the Steelers helmets are overhyped. It's like how Penn State has a good helmet in college football. Like, no, it's
the Bucks.
lame.
Shut the fuck up.
So I am
Damn.
picking the Bucks.
Damn.
Oh, man.
He just started shitting on all.
This should have been Denver. This should have been Denver. After
Yeah,
they won that
it
first
should have
one, it
been.
should have been
Well, it
Denver.
would have been if you would have
that-
been a dumbass and picked the Bucks out of spite. So
No, you
Denver-
could have had like
I was
legit
gonna pick.
taste and
I
saved the
genuinely was
vote.
Legit
gonna pick-
taste.
I genuinely was serious.
Give me the
I like
Bucks.
Denver.
Move the Bucks on.
So fuck you.
I'm gonna pick the Bucks, but obviously it should be the Broncos. They got snubbed. So, but
Yeah,
give me the
definitely.
Bucks.
Give me the Bucks.
All right.
Shitty
The
fun.
Bucks enter the finals. Moving on to the other side of the bracket, we have the
worst
Kelly,
championship of all time. I can feel it.
the Kelly Green,
Kelly Greens,
Eagles
come on. We don't even got it.
versus
Kelly Green. Kelly
the
Green.
Rams.
Those Rams are so nice though. But yeah, I'll go Eagles.
Oh no, they are not.
I like those Rams jerseys.
Those Rams
the
are awesome.
ones, but I also miss the old school St. Louis Rams ones. I like those are better than those.
Those were significantly better. These are dog shit.
I mean, I
compared to
like both of them. But I mean, yeah, give me the Kelly Green. Either way, it's the Kelly Green.
All right, we got the throwback Seahawks helmet, the silver with the weird looking bird on there, and then your Dallas Cowboys, the white helmet, the blue stripes, blue star.
I'm a big fan of the Seahawks helmet. Low key. I like the retro vibe of it.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks.
The Cowboys helmet is just the Cowboys helmet but white.
I do think that's better. It's better than their silver one, personally.
Yeah, I'm still taking Seahawks.
If this was jerseys, I think Seahawks by a mile. But I think that Cowboys helmet itself is better than that Seahawks helmet. So I'll go with the Cowboys.
All right, Seahawks still move on, 2-on-1 vote there. Moving on, you have the purple Minnesota Vikings helmet with the horn on the side, and then last year's new metallic black, silver, blue Lions helmet.
Yeah. It's not even close. I do like the Vikings helmet. I always have, but the blue helmet clears. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, it's the Lions. No debate.
I honestly like that Vikings helmet more.
The
Yeah,
Vikings helmet
you
is-
hated those black
I like the
uniforms
blue
all
of the.
time. I knew.
I don't know. I don't love the black outline logo. Like on an actual uniform. I think like fan made stuff it looks cool, but like on the actual line stuff, I'm kind of like that. I'm good.
All right, Lions helmet does move on. Next up, we have the red Atlanta Falcons with the dirty bird on the side, and the Houston Oilers white helmet, blue logo.
Damn.
This one's tough, and
Tough
honestly,
matchup.
I'm kind of not a fan of white helmets. They just give me like high school practice helmet vibes. You know what I mean? So I think I am going to take the Falcons. There's just something about that bright red helmet. I just love it.
You can either make it a Donnie decision, or I could just send it away.
Don't you look how that turned out last time? We got the Buccaneers winning that side of the bracket because of that.
That was also your fault, though.
I mean, that was my fault. But learn from my mistake.
I don't know. I've never really.
Don't trust Donnie.
No, obviously it's not a jersey, but the jersey of the Oilers is the best part of it. So yeah, I'm gonna go
Again.
Dirty Bird Falcons.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, again, we're picking the helmet, not the jersey.
Colin, I got that. I was just saying, like putting it in context.
It's definitely the Oilers, but I don't hate the Falcons.
All right, Falcons moving on. Kelly Green Eagles versus the throwback Seahawks.
Kelly Green, not even close.
Yeah, it's the Kelly Green.
Kelly Green.
All right. The new Lions helmets versus the red Dirty Bird.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
I mean, that means the Lions aren't going to move on because Donnie definitely ain't
Donnie's
picking
not
that
picking
Lions helmet. I'm going Lions. I just want to make it known that the Lions, I don't care what anyone says. I think that Lions helmet is the best helmet out of any helmet on this board.
That's incorrect.
That's a bold take there.
The Lions helmet might not be top 5 on just that side of the bracket. And there's fucking like 8 helmets.
Oh, I'd take that Lions helmet over the Falcons, Oilers, Seahawks. I'd take it over the Kelly Greens.
I don't remember all what's up top, but everything I can see.
Probably wouldn't take it over the Broncos. I don't know. It'd be close with the Broncos one. The Broncos helmet Lions finals for me would go to a Game 7 buzzer beater.
It's a toss up between that and the Rams one on that side, but every other jersey beats or every other helmet beats it.
Game 7 buzzer beater in quadruple overtime.
Yes, absolutely. With Lions Broncos for me, oh dude, that would feed families.
No, it's got
countries.
Falcons.
But I'll go Lions so they at least don't get swept.
And then I assume Donnie's taking
Would be the biggest heel
said
turn.
Falcons.
Would be
That would have
the
been.
biggest heel turn ever. I'm going Lions. Be bigger heel turn than John Cena.
All right, to get into the finals,
Damn.
the Kelly Green Eagle helmet or the Dirty Bird Red Falcons helmets.
Damn.
Damn.
This for me, this is going.
This
into
side of the bracket
quadruple
did
overtime.
way better than the other side.
I think I'm gonna go Kelly Greens though.
Lions are better than both. I
Shut up. No, they are not.
don't know. This is just off the helm. I've always hated the Falcon that's on. I don't know why. I don't like the look of the Falcon that much. So I'm gonna go Kelly Green.
I actually like that Falcon, but I am going with the Kelly Greens.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Dirty Bird, and here's our final: Kelly Green Eagles
Kelly Green.
versus the old school Bucks.
Not even a question. Kelly Green.
Yeah, it's Kelly Green.
This
If it was
is
the
worse
if it was
than
Bra-
Georgia murdering TCU.
if Colin would have picked the
National
Broncos,
champions.
if Colin would have picked the Broncos, then this would be an amazing final. But unfortunately, yeah, give me Kelly Green.
All right, so there's our bracket. Obviously, a couple snubs here.
Yeah.
Where does this one fall into the bracket with all the other helmets?
The black Lions helmet. Oh,
Goated.
okay, that one.
The
Absolutely goaded.
Honestly, I talked myself into being a fan of that helmet. That helmet sucked. Oh, he couldn't even hear me. I didn't realize.
No,
I talked myself into being a fan of that helmet. That helmet sucked, in all honesty.
What, that one that I just showed?
That one, yeah, that helmet sucked.
I liked
I'm
it.
gonna be real.
I just didn't
Maybe
like that
it's
we
just
wore
'cause
with the gray
I was
uniforms.
saying maybe it's because it was paired up with the grays, but like,
Crazy. I loved the gray uniforms.
nah. But what do we think about the bracket?
Broncos snubbed, Lions snubbed.
Was there any snubs that should have been
Broncos-
on the bracket that we
should have been
missed?
on the bracket. I would have swapped out. Honestly, maybe this is fucking dumb, but I like the Lions' regular helmet, like their plain home helmet, way more than I like those blue ones.
Okay.
I'm gonna get grilled for this, or y'all are gonna agree with me. But the Bengals ice white, I'll go crazy.
I like those.
Those
go
are good.
crazy. I love those helmets. I think they are sweet.
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns white helmet.
The Vikings whites, ice whites, also go crazy. I kind of like those as
Yeah,
well.
with like the chrome trim. Those
Yeah.
are sweet.
Those are dope. I'm trying to think of like older helmets that I'm missing.
I honestly kind of like the old Chargers, where it was basically that one, except they had the number 2.
Yeah.
Those are actually pretty good.
For being an old like 70s, I think those look good.
Hold on, let me.
You know what I was always a fan of is the dark Chargers helmets that they had. For
The
a while.
navy.
Yeah, I liked those.
I don't even remember.
The LT days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Very,
gonna
very basic, but like I think Raiders and the forgot what team I was thinking of.
I've
Raiders
always
and the
been a fan of.
Saints. I think the Raiders and the Saints helmets are solid for being like
They
just
are solid for
ass
sure.
helmets.
Yeah,
The Texans.
I think a
The
good
Texans'
classic
old
helmet
helmets.
is the Giants. I've always been a fan of the Giants helmets.
Oh, the winged
just
ones that
something
they
about-
busted out? Yeah, those ones.
I'm gonna have to agree with Donnie. Those old St. Louis Rams helmets were pretty sweet.
Those were good
yeah.
helmets. My only problem is every time I think of them, I think of Sam Bradford, and that just kind of ruins it for me.
Besides that, I'm not really seeing any. Honestly, the regular Eagles are just are nice.
Yeah,
Not
What's
really.
the worst? Oh, yeah, man.
I think the blackout Saints ones are the worst.
I'm not even.
Really?
Those were horrible.
I'm not even.
Actually, I think the
Yes.
genuine answer is the white Cleveland Browns helmet. Why did that get made?
Oh, I forgot about the purple Ravens ones. Those are sick too.
Oh yeah, the ones that came out this year.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Eh.
I feel like they'd be sweet if they had the actual Ravens logo, not the alternative
That's
logo.
why they fucking suck. They have that
Yeah.
stupid Ravens logo on there, and it just fucking kills.
All right, well, there's our bracket. We might have to do some more of these in the future because that was pretty
Okay.
quick, and
I mean,
Yeah.
we can do it in 2 weeks when we record again because March
Yeah.
Madness will still be going on.
that is true.
I want to
So-
see those Lions blue helmet, like the exact one we have right there. I want to see one what it looks like with a white logo instead of a black logo, like a white out Lions logo.
That'd be
I'm
interesting.
not gonna lie, I think that would look better than the black.
I love
Yeah, I
the
don't
black.
know.
I love
In
our
the
black.
context of the uniform that it's being worn with, though, that would look horrible.
I can't even
But
remember.
just as like a standalone helmet, I don't think.
I
that
don't
would
even
look
know
that
what
bad.
fucking what uniform do they wear with this?
The
Take a
black
wild
ones, the black
guess.
jerseys.
Take a wild
guess.
guess.
Here, right there, that one,
The-
that one.
All right, is that it?
Pretty quick episode right there.
Real quick? Who's your national championship pick for March Madness?
Oh, okay.
Michigan State.
All right, let's
wanna
talk
say
about
Michigan
reality
State, but
now.
I want to say Michigan State, but they didn't get past Auburn.
All right, fine. Michigan State is my wannabe, but my realistic.
I do have them in my Final Four bracket, but
Let
I'm
me get
fully
that.
expecting that to.
Let me get
not
them Gators.
push it.
That's what I also
Florida
was
Gators.
saying. The Gators.
I was gonna take Duke. They're
That
just
are-
so hot right now.
Ain't no
and-
way I got yelled at for having a
Dragons.
Blue Devil shirt on, and then this
Hey,
motherfucker.
That's
I'm being
different.
realistic.
Yeah,
picking them
now
for the
you're
Natty.
Michigan State
I'm
Cardinals,
not rooting for them. I just
motherfucker.
think they're gonna win the Natty.
Ain't no way. You wearing a Duke Blue Devil shirt? I actually think Duke's gonna win it all.
Hey, I have a degree from Michigan State, so
I don't care.
get
I
to
got-
be a Michigan State.
Hey, I got my girlfriend goes to Michigan State.
And she's a Michigan fan, which is the worst kind
Bro,
of
I
person.
love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I absolutely love it. It's my I beat off of that shit.
But anyway, yeah, Duke. Donnie, who'd you say?
Kentucky.
All right.
What's our real guess?
So I
Alabama
guess
State.
Drake is going to the national.
Shut up,
championship.
Drake ain't making it past the first round. If you say Drake one more time, oh my gosh,
Oh wait, no. Who's Kentucky playing?
he can't even beat Kendrick Lamar. How's he gonna beat Mizzou? Troy.
Yeah, I was gonna
Troy.
say.
That's who it is. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give me the Trojans.
no, Troy's getting pissed slammed. Not going. Well, all right. Well, that's the end of the podcast. I'm actually looking at the picture of the bracket right now. So enjoy the first couple rounds of March Madness before we see you guys next. Actually, probably next time we see you guys will be right around.
I
48
wonder
or
how
Final
many
Four.
of those national championship picks are going to be busted by the time this episode actually comes out.
Yeah,
Definitely the Kentucky one.
Definitely the Drake one. But we appreciate you guys for watching, and don't know how much NFL shit's gonna happen. So honestly, next time we probably will have an episode, unless something crazy happened and some big news, big trade. We'll probably talk about some draft stuff because we know the draft is only a month and a week away. So we're getting to that time every week. I love the draft. Always have.
Gotta do
Always
some
will.
mock drafts for sure.
Draft day, top 3 sports movie of all time, no question. But if you guys enjoyed watching,
See, we're
please leave a
smoking
like.
meth in this outro.
Nope,
Okay.
that
He's
draft
been
day.
on one all day.
Man.
Y'all disrespectful. That's crazy. If you enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe. We'll check you guys out later. Peace.